So students, as we have covered all planets including Sun, now let us talk about natural satellite of ours. Yes, we are talking about Moon now. So you all know that it is a natural satellite of our planet Earth, and other planets are also having their own moon. Okay, like the Jupiter having 4 large moons that can be seen from our Earth planet also. Okay, so and in that also Titan is the largest moon, that is a moon of the Jupiter. Okay, so let us talk about more about moon. Earth is having only one moon and we can see it in almost every night, and it is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from us. Okay, so this is the range. It is not too far, students, like the Sun is very far from us, that is almost 15 crore kilometers away from us. So this value is in lakhs only, which is not so far that we actually landed on moon. Yes, you have heard about Neil Armstrong, am I right? Very good. With the Neil Armstrong, the other two persons that have gone there is the Edwin Aldrin and the Michael Collins. Okay, so Michael Collins was the one who did not landed on the moon, but the second one is Edwin Aldrin, that after Neil Armstrong has landed and stepped on the moon. Fine, so see, this is the kilometers away that we have seen. Now, what is the revolution complete time of the moon that has covered this Earth in one complete revolution? So this is actually 27.3 days. That is like 27 complete days with 1/3 day. Okay, we do not consider it as a 30 days complete, that the one revolution takes by the moon to complete the time circle around the Earth is 27.3 days. Okay, students, its revolution and rotation are such that only one side of the moon is always focus us. Yes, I can show you with the help of diagram. See, like suppose this is the moon part, this is in center. We always see such kind of moon. We do not see the other side of the moon. Why? Because it always rotate itself and revolute itself in a single orbit. Okay, like if this thing, let's suppose this is the face of the moon that we are seeing. Okay, and we are here. So the revolution and the rotation part is completed in 27 1 and 3/2 days. Okay, so we can say that this thing will always be seen whenever it will complete one revolution. Now when it comes here again, the part of this other side of the moon now would be visible, but at that time it may be any new moon day or any kind of circumstances may happen, but we will always can be seen this part of the moon. Fine, because it revolute from here like this and come like this. Like this is the part of the moon, so it again like this, rotate like this and revolute like this only. So we would always be able to see one side of the moon. Okay, so here are these different phases of the moon. As you can see that you won't be able to see the moon for a single night. Like one night would be there, you won't be able to see any moon in the sky. That is known to be as the Amavasya, right? Or we can say that in English as the new moon. So what are different phases of moon? We are going to read that thing right now. So let us see different phases of moon by describing them in one by one manner. Okay, so here is the diagram of the Earth planet and the moon that is rotating and revoluting around the Earth. Okay, so 2 or 3 days after this, after the Amavasya, that is called new moon. See, here we are having new moon and these orange lines here are representing the sunlight that are coming from this side. Okay, now if the sunlight is coming from here and the moon is in between the Earth and the sun right now, but little bit upward direction. Okay, like this, like here it is not moon, like it is not just in between the Earth and the sun. It is not just in the center. If it is so, then we will see solar eclipse. Okay, and if the moon is just behind the earth and sun is here, then we will see the lunar eclipse. Okay, so here you know the phases of the moon, that the solar eclipse done when moon is in between the sun and the earth, and if the earth is in between the sun and the moon, then we will having a lunar eclipse. But now in this condition, in the case of new moon here, the moon is not just in between, just in center between the sun and the earth. It is little bit slightly sides part. Okay, but because the dark part of the thing, the dark part of the earth is right now is this. Okay, because sun is here at this part, because sunlight is coming here. Now here this part of the earth is having day and this part of the earth is having night. So the night people, the countries that are here at this time period, and moon because here at this time period, so the people here won't be able to see any moon in the sky. In this night sky, we are not having any kind of moon right now. Okay, so after a time, because the moon is revoluting and rotating with the same effort, with the same manner, now it is shifting from here to here. Okay, let me tell you one more thing, students, that the part when the moon is just less than the half part, like this is the part of the moon that we can say now the moon is showing is the half moon. Fine, but if the part of the moon or the phase of the moon is less than the half part, then we would always call it as crescent part. And if it is the more than the half part, like this, okay, just a slight more than the half part of the moon, then we will call it as gibbous. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram also, here is it written crescent and gibbous. Fine, so you can see, because now from the new moon was here. Now after the next day, next night, we are having that the moon is slightly shifted from here to here. Now little part of the moon would be seen by these night people who are present here. Why? Because it has shifted from here, from the dark side to this side. Still that moon is having the sunlight, but why we won't able? Because the reflecting light of the moon is not reaching towards us. Fine, that is why now in this case, because it is shifted from here to here, now we are having the crescent part. Okay, so waxing and waning are the two part. Waxing is when we are converting our new moon. The new moon is converting towards the full moon. So it is a part of waxing right now. And if the full moon is again decreasing itself and again becoming the new moon, that is the waning part. Okay, see here it is written waning and here it is written waxing. Okay, so waxing crescent is showing here, that is showing that a slight part of the moon is visible now to the people who are having here night and at this part of the earth right now. Now after waxing crescent, we are having different phase of the moon. Gradually it is becoming more bright and the moon is becoming bigger in portion, and now because it has reached its first half portion, so we can call it as the first quarter. Okay, as you can see from the waxing crescent, now it is bringing more big, and now it is become that the half part of the moon is visible to the people who are present here in the night sky. So we can call that the first quarter of the moon is visible. You know what is the meaning of quarter? That is the 1/4 part. Why we are calling it 1/4 part if we are seeing that in a half part of the moon? Because there are phases of the moon, that 4 phases we are having. First phase is the new moon. Second phase is the first quarter, that we are seeing the half of its part. Now after this we are having the full moon, that we would be able to see the full part of the moon, and then after the other half part of the moon. But that other half again we are having the same face of the moon, like the full moon, but half part of it. Okay, you are not going to see the other portion, like if the sphere is there, the sphere, the other part of the hemisphere of the other thing. Okay, like other side of the moon, you won't be able to see that. You can only see the first phase, like whatever you are seeing in part of the full moon, the half portion of that would be visible in the first quarter and the last quarter. Okay, so here after this we are having the first quarter that we are belonging here right now. Okay, now the next thing we would be see is the gibbous moon. Okay, when we see moon more than half of the, I have told you, less than half crescent, more than half gibbous. Okay, so now after this, when we are reached on the full moon, okay, like first quarter has been done, but now because this part gibbous waxing is going to see. Why? Because at this part right now we are having that this again going to increase itself, like the first quarter half, from less than half to half, now more than half. So we are having gibbous waxing, and waxing denotes that from the new moon we are shifting to the full moon, and waning means from the full moon we are shifting back to the new moon. Okay, so gibbous waxing means that now the moon will be visible more than half part of it. And after that we would be able to see the full moon part. Okay, so that full moon part here we will call it as Purnima. Okay, so on every 15th day after the new moon, like Amavasya ke baad mein jo 15 days hai, completing of that 15 days we will again would be able to see the full moon that we called as the Purnima. Thereafter the bright portion of the moon reduces, and it would take again 15 days to converting full moon into the new moon, and that is again known to be as the waning process. That means ab ye ghat raha hai. Okay, so that gibbous waning will call it as like more than half part of the moon is now get reduced. Okay, and then last quarter, that is now we would be able to see the half part of the moon, and then waning crescent. Okay, less than half part of the moon is now visible, so it is reducing itself, and then after reducing it again will become new moon. That now at this time again we will be at the same place that the people on the earth in the night sky won't be able to see any kind of moon in the sky.